Han Rushu knocked on the door twice. Kiao Kiao? What's wrong? Kiao Kiao? I'm fine, Kiao An Hao said, and threw up again. When Han Rushu heard her vomiting, her brows furrowed in worry. Then she ordered the housekeeper right away, call the family doctor to make a visit. For Kiao Kiao to vomit like this, there must be something wrong. The housekeeper stood still on the spot. Han Rushu couldn't help but say something to usher the housekeeper again. When the housekeeper drew close to Han Rushu's ear, she said in a low voice, Mrs.'s vomiting may not be an illness. She could also be pregnant. Having given birth, Han Rushu was experienced, and so when she heard those words, she realized it instantly, and turned to look at the closed bathroom door. Then she strode over towards the living room, pacing up and down. She waved the housekeeper over and whispered in her ear, give Sister Line a call. Ask her to make a visit now. Yes, Mrs. The housekeeper immediately did as instructed. Kiao An Hao felt much better after throwing up, just as she did in the morning. As she came out of the bathroom, she immediately saw Han Rushu, and said, a little embarrassed, Aunt Shu, apologies for disturbing your meal. Don't worry about it. But what's wrong with you? What got you vomiting like this? Han Rushu pointed at the dining room, and walked over with Kiao An Hao. I drank too much the night of Brother Jiamu's birthday. Then the next day, my stomach didn't feel well. For the past 2 days, I've just been wanting to vomit. When the driver takes you home, buy some medicine for your stomach. Don't let it drag on. Be careful not to let it become something serious. Kiao An Hao tenderly smiled, with curved eyes, and said, okay, Aunt Shu. Han Rushu smiled but didn't say a word. She sat with Kiao An Hao at the dining table and continued to eat. Taking 2 bites, she looked at the pickled vegetables and duck soup on the table, before she personally brought Kiao An Hao a bowl. Kiao An Hao said thank you, as she took a spoonful. It tasted sour. Just how she liked it, and she continued to take a few more mouthfuls. Han Rushu, who sat opposite her, watched her eat. In the blink of an eye, she wore a composed smile in the corner of her lips, and continued to eat elegantly. After dinner, the Shu family had guests over. Han Rushu offered her guest a seat, and then said to Kiao An Hao, Kiao Kiao, do you still remember? This is Aunt Line. When Jiamu and you got married, she gave you a white jade bracelet. Kiao An Hao remembered her at the mention of the white jade bracelet. This guest was a close friend of Han Rushu who worked in the gynecology department of the Chinese hospital. Kiao An Hao immediately greeted her politely. Aunt Line, hello. When the woman heard herself being called Aunt Line, she gave a warm smile, and looked Kiao An Hao up and down. Yet her words were directed towards Han Rushu. Rushu, your daughter-in-law sure is beautiful. Han Rushu smiled, and also complimented Kiao An Hao. Look at your smug look. Ms. Line snorted at Han Rushu. Then she politely asked Kiao An Hao a few questions. Soon, her eyes fell on the bracelet on Kiao An Hao's wrist. She suddenly moved closer and grabbed for that wrist. Silently pressing onto Kiao An Hao's pulse with her fingertips, she said, this is Channel's latest bracelet design, right? It's a limited edition. I wasn't able to get my hands on one.